Good evening, guys. Hope you're doing well. Rusty here. We're back for another Impact Dynamics Live episode, whatever episode it is. I've completely lost track of it now. Thanks heaps for joining in. If you're watching us live, fantastic. Say good day in the comments. Let us know what you're doing, what you're up to, all that sort of thing. I am on the back on the Cubanay rum tonight, thanks to the Rum Baron from Hunting HQ. Actually, speaking of which, tomorrow night, we are Tuesday, aren't we? Tomorrow night, Wednesday, Simo from Hunting HQ will be joining us. So maybe he might be able to squeeze a rum fact out for us as well. Anyway, knowing Simo, he will squeeze plenty of things out. That will be something exciting to watch tomorrow night. He'll be around. He's going to talk hunting. They did a big trip into the high country in Victoria last year. No doubt we'll cover a bit of that and all sorts of stories and stuff with that. Thursday night, one of the guys here locally, Simon Plush, is going to join us, and he's going to get into some in-depth reloading stuff for our Thursday night reloading special. And then Friday night, I'm very excited to be... Actually, no, I'll keep Friday night a secret. We have a special guest who is... very good fun, will be a good laugh, and will be a nice way to well, even though Friday night's a Good Friday, I guess, it'll be a good way to relax anyway and be prepared for the weekend. Excellent. I assume no one's going away for Easter, because apparently that's not what we're doing this year, so hopefully you guys have your plans ready for whatever it is, but we'll still be doing this Thursday night, Friday night and Sunday night and Monday night, I guess, all happening as planned. Excellent. Anthony did some reloading tonight, which is excellent, or doing some reloading tonight. I wonder if you guys do reload. I wonder what the quality of the reloads is while watching us. I don't know. We'll find out, I guess, when we get back into shooting. Tonight is sponsored by Projectile Warehouse. As you guys would know, you can save 5% off a big range of projectiles and sample packs and reloading gear, and more stuff actually arriving every day at the moment for that. And use the code IDLIVE, IDLIVE, and the number 5 on the end, ID Live 5, and that'll get you 5% off on the brand new Projectile website, Projectile Warehouse website. I'll learn how to speak one day. Other exciting news, speaking of learning how to speak, this is now in podcast format. So if watching is really inconvenient for you, the audio of this now goes out, and to be fair, it's not treated significantly. It's not like the Precision Shooting podcast, which gets edited in bits and pieces. It is literally raw from here, sent out just for those guys who might be in the cars or whatever. Of course, the memes are not as good because you can't see them and other such things. However, if this is going to keep you entertained on the drive to work or drive to wherever you need to go to, it's in audio format, or while you're vacuuming the house or mowing the lawn or whatever other exciting activity you plan on doing. Let's get in. Anthony asks, there's a couple of questions prior to kicking off tonight. Anthony asks, before we get in, any plans for a 22 comp? Anthony, we run 22 comps at our club every month. So yes, there are there's lots of comps around that are 22. I suspect with new rules being able to hit the clubs, we will see many more 22 comps, because that's probably the most accessible for many of the clubs. So good. Beth's got her feet up and drinking beer and watching us. Great. Andrew's asking questions already about tonight's topic, so we shall get into that. Hey, let's bring Ben on. Ben is joining us. Mate, are you there? Can we hear you? Can we see you?
I can hear you, Rusty. I hope you can all see me.
We can, mate. We can. I'm just.
Yep, good. That's always a good sign.
Yep. In fact, we can see us both now. We've gotten to that level where we're
both
on screen. Look at us. Keep on going. Oh, very good. So, guys, if you don't know,
Getting good at this.
Ben is one of the directors of the Precision Rifle Series, although that doesn't mean a lot right at the moment. He is also the man behind the Long Gun project, if I've got that correct, and is making really good quality videos and keeps a really active Instagram going and all sorts of things. And he's also actually starting to help out with the running of this show as well, just because why not? Nothing else to do, I guess. And so in the coming weeks, the guests, you'll have him to thank for how good or bad they are, I guess. Start handballing the blame. Anyway,
Pretty much.
That is the plan. Ben, is there anything else that you want to mention that you're involved with?
Look, certainly nothing that I'd want to put in the public forum.
I like the honesty. Yeah.
And look, that could have been anyone's ass in that photograph, so I'm not committing myself to anything.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Very good. Cool. So I asked you to come on tonight because I thought it'd be really interesting to have a discussion about filming and then sort of an element of how you can improve yourself by filming. But then taking that to the extreme for guys who are thinking about, see these dudes make YouTube videos. I could make better videos than them, or I couldn't make better, whatever the quality of video is. Or I like that, or I'm doing some socials and I'm but I'm only hitting small amounts of people, whatever. Perhaps we could expand on into, well, if you got this footage of you shooting, you may as well turn it into something else and why that could be good, and maybe some practical tips. We'll see what the questions come through. But have you used filming to better your shooting?
In the past, I have actually, and I remember when we were doing that very first 5-day long-range precision shooting course with yourself and Dan. Mm-hmm. We were trying to diagnose some problems with a couple of the guys shooting, and we just used an iPhone and took video of them in slow-mo.
Yep.
And used that to diagnose things like flinching, and trigger snatch and all that kind of stuff. Watching what their bodies were doing under recoil to get their body alignment right. So that's probably the first time I sort of really came across using filming to improve shooting, and even just getting somebody to film you whilst you're doing a PRS stage is really interesting. I found that really useful because you can actually see where you burn time. Mm. And if you consistently time out on a stage, and it's kind of like when you watch someone like Ash or Luke, shoot, or George, they always seem like they've got 30 seconds more than everyone else. They'll do the stage, and then they'll walk off. They'll pick up their brass. They've got their chamber indicator flag in, and then the beeper goes beep, and you go, how did they have that much time? And then you get there, and you're halfway through the stage, it goes beep, and you're like, that's bullshit. I'm supposed to have another 30 seconds.
Yep.
And when you watch what you did, on a video, you can sit there and go, God, just get in position, shoot already. Like, what's going on? So you can see where you burn a lot of time. And for a lot of people, initially I found that I was burning a lot of time getting into position, and then adopted the Paul Reed 11-second drill, which he talks about on your podcast that you did with him. That's really good at getting your first well-aimed shot off in good time. And then other things start to sort of show up in the video. I realised initially, very early on, I was lifting my head off the gun to work the bolt, because the bolt was actually hitting a particular baseball cap I was wearing. So change the baseball cap or lose the baseball cap. But it's and once you start thinking, okay, what can I improve on next? Then you start looking at, right, where else can I improve? And I figured out that by filming myself or getting someone to film me whilst I was shooting a stage, I learned that I was being inefficient in my movements between positions. So it would take me an extra 2 seconds in a 2-minute stage. But, when you've got 10 positions, because you've got a ladder that you're sort of moving along, if you take an extra 2 seconds for each position, and there's 10 positions, there's 20 seconds in 2 minutes. It's just gone like that.
Yeah.
So, it's a really, really useful tool, and it doesn't have to be cinematic. It's just, you've just got to have somebody who's got a good angle on you to see what you're doing. So the open side of your body. So if you're right-handed, having someone on the right-hand side is good, and vice versa, so that you can actually see what's happening in front of your face and that sort of stuff. Yeah, there's a long answer to a short question.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, I've certainly used. I mean, back in the training days, we used the iPhones a lot, and the really good thing. I mean, they were okay cameras back then. They're really good now. But the other thing that they do really well is slow mo. They do these slow motion stuff, and it really
they do super slow mo.
Yeah, and they show you exactly what you're doing wrong, really, really well. So I think that you see a lot of the top guys at comps. They'll have someone filming them, whether they choose to or not. But often they've designated one person to film them, and then 3 other dudes are filming them anyway because they shoot really well and they want to learn from them. But filming yourself or having yourself filmed is a huge benefit to that. And in terms of, have you got any like suggestions for how people should go about, like practical tips of is there a better angle? Is there a better way to do it? Is that sort of stuff?
I think the only thing I would probably say is try and get your whole body in the shot throughout what you're filming.
Mm-hmm.
It's unless you're trying to diagnose one particular thing, and you want to get in close.
Sorry, mate. We're having a country remote New South Wales problems at the moment.
Keep your frame over your entire body. Oh, yep. No shit.
There we go. Keep your entire frame over your body. We got that. Keep your whole thing in. Yeah, it's good. Yep.
Sorry, there was a possum chewing the lines again. It happens.
Good. Okay.
So I would say probably keep your body in the frame the whole time so that you can see what you're doing with your feet, you can see what you're doing with your head, and that kind of stuff. And and that's probably what I'd recommend doing first, and probably not directly behind the shooter. You're not going to see what their bolt manipulation's like. You're not going to see if they're lifting their head very well. If you can get off to sort of a 45-degree angle or thereabouts to their open side, you're probably in a pretty good spot, I'd say, to film someone and pick up most of the problems if they're having any.
Sure.
That's.
Yeah, one idea or one thing I've seen benefit is, let's say, running stages, is to film. Don't start the video at the point where you're ready to rock and roll. If someone's filming you, have them film you while you get your gun ready and bits and pieces, and see if you're going through your shot process consistently, because so much of how well your stage is going to go can happen in the 30 seconds to a minute prior to your stage. Can be such a player. So have them film that as well.
Absolutely.
And you may uncover some things you weren't expecting. If you were shooting, let's say you're just at the range and you're shooting and you just got it on you to watch technique. So, ideally maybe sort of, I don't know if you can see it out there somewhere, sort of, probably sort of similar where this camera was if I was shooting this way. And then that way you can see this angle. That is really useful. But one of the practical things that I've found doing that is, if you shoot and you know where it went, most guys they shoot and then and they shoot and they If you shoot, tell the camera where you hit or missed, and then carry on and do that each time. So I hit left edge, I went just underneath, and away you go. And by doing that, what happens is when you go back is you can actually you've got data there of where the bullet went while you're watching the video of you. So you can see that if you've done this on the trigger, or you've been set up, or you notice like half your shots had your thumb up and half your shots had your thumb around the stock, and you actually notice a consistent pattern between where the bullet went and how you were shooting. It just gives you another data set that you can draw on rather than just what you're physically doing. Butters has asked a question. Butters has asked a quick question. What if we don't look good on camera? Adobe After Effects.
Persevere, man. That's what we did.
That's this is all filters.
Push through.
Sorry, Ben. I interrupted you about something there. or Butters interrupted.
Yeah, I hadn't actually. Um, Butters. No, you make a good point about calling your shots and that kind of stuff. It's something that is always handy because unless you're going to you can pull a target down or go and take a photo of a steel plate that you've shot up, but you won't know which round is which. And if you start getting sort of split groups or something like that based on the way you're holding the firearm, the only way you're going to diagnose that is through, like you say, calling your shots and calling your points of impact.
Absolutely. So I think that can be a very useful, a useful little technique. So if anyone in the chat has another suggestion for processes or practical tips about filming yourself, guys, chuck it in there. We'll jump through in the chat shortly. We're letting that one fly through at the moment. And so let's break into, I guess, what is part of the main topic for tonight, really, because filming yourself, we've covered a lot, and being able to do it, a couple of practical tips, get it done, go and do it. You will learn a lot. I mean, I guess probably the really important thing is to watch that footage back and actually learn what you're doing, document some of the things and work on the things there. But you may end up with a whole stack of footage, or you may end up, some guys want to, start a YouTube channel or boost an Instagram page or something along those lines. Have you got any thoughts about?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we both bias because we both do a bit of that. But in terms of what effect that can have on the shooting community overall?
In terms of, you mean like starting a YouTube channel and socials and that sort of stuff?
Yeah, if you're out there and doing that sort of thing, is it beneficial for shooting, or what do you think?
Look, I will declare a bias. Look, I think it is. I think it's a good thing. Yep. Anything that can bring more awareness to our sport. As long as we're good ambassadors for the sport. Mm-hmm. There is always a risk that and it happens. Whatever we do will be scrutinised, and you'll always get people who don't like what you do. But by and large, the only people who are going to go searching on YouTube for shooting-related stuff are people who are into shooting. So, I think for 99% of it, I think it's always a good thing. And if we're doing our part in terms of being the best ambassador for the sport that we can be, putting more content out there, helps bring our sport into mainstream awareness. It gets seen as a sport far sort of sooner than it would have otherwise. And I think it's something that as a younger generation of shooters, we're not out there, sort of stoking a black powder musket and, wishing we were at Rorke's Drift. We are more technologically savvy, and we use social media and that sort of stuff to communicate a lot more. And you would be blown away with the number of people that you connect with who are really, really interesting people, great people, and you make some amazing friendships, but also, you connect other people through the people that you know. It's sort of a strength in numbers thing. We're a lot stronger when we're all communicating, when we're all talking, when we're all putting positive stuff out there. And so I mean, I think it's good. It's kind of like competition. Competition improves the breed. If we're all putting creative shooting content out there, we're all going to be looking at what each other's doing and taking inspiration from that and putting out better stuff. I think it's a good thing. What about, like, you've been at this YouTube thing longer than I have. Like, what do you think?
Yeah, and I haven't really got that much to show for it, to be fair. But anyway, we keep on trying. I think Yeah, the social is a really powerful thing. We see that in a huge amount of aspects of life and in lots of industries and stuff. And I think that you're spot on. Guys who want to portray the sport well, and you've got that interest to go down that path, do it because, Ben, you will connect with people who won't connect with me making videos and doing what we do. Other people will connect with others. And so if you are, if you're at all interested in doing that sort of process of, running an Instagram or running YouTube or smashing TikTok. TikTok's pretty limited on gun stuff, by the way, just putting that out there. But if that's something that you're really interested in or doing the whole gamut of it, I would highly encourage you to go for it because the more positive light that we have for the gun side of things, the better. And I think that, it's underrepresented. It's very difficult from, like guys trying to get professional with it and getting monetized and stuff because you're consistent. Like every video, every single one of these live videos goes up and gets demonetized instantly because of the topic that we talk about. Nothing to do with the fact that we don't actually breach any standards, just instantly that's the case. So bad.
Guns are bad. Man.
That's exactly right. Trying to keep everyone.
They're so bad.
Yeah, trying to keep everyone safe. So, guys in the chat, I'd be very curious to know if any of you are either running like social media sort of accounts that are more than just connecting with family. That's good and important, but you're actually looking to sort of build yourself up as known or just put content out there to promote the sport. This is not necessarily about selfish reasons, it's about trying to get your personal name out there. Most of us do it for the love of the sport, for getting more people involved, for just promoting, putting out the good word, and that's, I think, majority of guys are really passionate about doing that. So if you're in the chat and that's the sort of thing, and let us know, hit us up on any questions like that. I guess we're not pros at this. We'll say up top where we try our best, and we do what we can. I look back when I started the YouTube channel in 2014 or 13 or something stupid, and I have not been at it very solidly for any period of time. I do see big spikes when when we're putting videos up on a regular basis, and you would even see that on a channel of your age. Ben, as well, you see when you're putting content out on a regular basis, it's picking up, and then it sort of just drizzles off a bit, and that's pretty common. We see that with the podcast as well. If we go quiet, which we are on the podcast as well, it's an interesting one. You started. You were not super keen on Facebook, so you started a YouTube, what did you say? Instagram channel, Instagram account a little while ago, until the point.
And it's all owned by Facebook anyway.
Until the
I don't know why I was so reluctant. I got this social media stuff sussed.
No.
I'm not a sellout. I'm not doing Facebook.
Yeah,
dude, it's all owned by Facebook. Shit.
I think the thing was, I said to you, you're like, no, and I look at your Instagram app when it opens up, it says Facebook down the bottom, and all I had, I think the message back was just a list of expletives. But how have you found the Instagram side of things? What has been your thoughts around running that page? Have you got have you had good take up, and what has worked for you? What hasn't?
It's interesting. The Instagram side of things, I started Instagram to draw attention to the Long Gun Project and direct people back to watch my videos and that sort of stuff. And and I've got more subscribers or followers on Instagram than I do for the Long Gun Project. But what I have found is that it has helped. There's seems to be a fair bit of crossover. So. But there's a range of different things that will sort of, I think, factors that play into what gets well received on Instagram and what gets well received on YouTube. And sometimes you can put, I just put up a photo which is kind of cool, pretty meaningless, it's just gun related stuff because I just want to sort of keep my followers sort of interested in what I've been up to. And I get a really great response.
Yep.
I sort of, oh, wow, that's interesting. And then I'll put out a 30-second teaser of, just a real short sort of, sort of preview reel of my YouTube video, and I'll put that on Instagram. And it depends if other people are posting a whole bunch of stuff, they kind of, everything sort of gets stacked on top of you, and they sort of stand on what you're doing, and sometimes it just doesn't seem to get the uptake. So it's a little bit hot and cold. I haven't quite cracked Instagram yet. When you still haven't cracked YouTube yet either. These algorithms all over the joint, but but it is interesting. But look, Instagram is a good one, because if nothing else, if you're going to run one thing, just one thing, I would say Instagram or a Facebook page is probably the way to go, because you can put short videos on there, you can put photos on there. That's pretty straightforward, especially if you're not sure if you want to jump into YouTube. So I sort of started at YouTube first, and then sort of worked my way back, which is kind of the opposite of what most people would do. So I think if somebody's sort of wanting to get into that sort of stuff, Instagram is probably a good place to start. And then if you really start getting into making videos and you want to sort of get creative and dive right into that sort of stuff, and just start getting excited over cameras and lenses like we do, then make that step into YouTube. But you don't have to. You can do short videos or that sort of stuff. You can do it all on Instagram. So.
Yeah, I think if we had to choose one, I think what we do is really visual in shooting. Shooting looks good. The guns look good, and some of the environments you find yourself in look really good. I think Instagram, they're all visual platforms, but Instagram is much more about the visual than it is about what you write or what you say. And you can say a lot with that visual. Yes. And so I think you're right. I think Instagram has a very good spot for guns. And what you'll find, a lot of guys, and myself included, they go at the same content everywhere. And you will get better results. Yep. It's more work, but you'll get better results if you tailor each post to each platform. Now, I'm guilty of not doing that because it takes more work.
It's time consuming.
It's time consuming, and is putting a post out that goes across Insta, TikTok, Snapchat, and Facebook, and probably what we should be doing is YouTube community page, but is doing one post for all of them, doing one single post better than doing 5 individual posts for each platform. If you take the time to do one for each platform, you'll get a better, the algorithm will like you better. Things will go better for you, but you will spend more time doing it. And it's really that balance of it. I don't know if you're a Casey Neistat fan. I don't know if any of our followers will, but one of the things that
I can't do Casey, man. No. He's something about the guy. I just can't
I understand that. That's all good. One of his quotes is that you never let perfect get in the way of good. And this is I will take a video and spend like 3 weeks on trying to make it as good as I can. And I would be better off to make 3 videos, 1 per week, and make them good enough, because I'll never hit perfection. I'm not talented enough. I don't know enough. And you could just forever keep tweaking and you'll never get the video out. Whereas I think that resonated with me significantly. Unless it's a feature film or something on those lines, I've found that to be really good advice. And I think that's been one of the drivers behind this format, because we're coming into a point where a lot of people are going to have a lot more time. You or I, we could we could bump up content because we had some more time, and we could, spend 10 hours a week and maybe make 1 or 2 good looking videos that were 8-10 minutes each. But if people have a lot of time to be watching stuff, a couple of 10-minute videos goes by pretty quickly, in about 20 minutes, funnily enough. Yeah.
and but it's a big investment in time in terms of taking, you can take hours worth of footage and you condense it all the way down to a handful of minutes.
Yep.
And that's not a short process. And I've found that, I'm the same. I'll try to make the video as good as I can make it.
Yep.
But you're never really 100% happy with it, but you've got to get it out soon.
No.
And I've got I've got a video which is coming out hopefully the next 24 hours once I've got
hello,
the thumbs up from Lithgow Arms. Yeah, you heard it here first, folks.
Great.
That's right. Ben's finally putting out another video. If you haven't already ditched my subscription.
I'm sure no one has.
It's none that they'll admit to my face anyway.
They'll forget that they were subscribed because there's no video notifications coming up, Ben. That's why.
Well, yeah, because guns are bad. Sorry, this is a firearms-based YouTube channel. Not only will you be demonetized, but we won't notify anyone.
Yeah.
That was also part of the reason I sort of started putting notifications on Instagram. So, you can spend. It's a big process when you're trying to put together a solid 10-minute video on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like the Box to 1000 video that we did with Nick and Travi and Andy.
Yeah.
Like you had hours of footage. And it got condensed down to what was it in the end, like 14 minutes?
So we ran 9 cameras for that shoot, and it was about a 45-minute process. So that's near on 7 a bit hours worth of footage, and that ended up as about a 16-minute video. Yeah, that's the way it goes. That took forever, and I'm still working on I'm not actively working because I'm doing this instead at the moment, but still working on the follow-up one. Anyway, that'll get there. I think with Project Warehouse site going out, we'll get there next week.
Yeah. And sorry, the other thing is you've got all those. Sorry.
I was just going to say that Box to 1000 video was one of those moments where we've been doing this, we've been filming ourselves for a long time, and you picked up a shooting, or several people picked up a shooting improvement that you could make from that video, and there's a
yes, it was the trigger slap that could be heard around the globe.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was a big trigger slap, and Nick's never let me forget it,
and never will.
And he did beat me that day, but I used that same technique to beat him the day previously.
Very good.
But it was. But again, the value of filming yourself, because it actually, copying that ribbing is exactly what I needed, because I've gone and spent quite a bit of time focusing on getting my trigger pull right again.
Yep.
So, so that was, it's still filming yourself, is still a valuable thing.
Absolutely.
And you can, mind you, filming doesn't always go perfectly.
Oh, is this the lead into your video? Is this the lead?
Man, I thought that was a great segue. It was so smooth.
It was.
Was it not smooth? I thought it was smooth.
Because Ben sent me this video earlier today about things not always going right. So perhaps we shall have a little look at that, and then we're going to come back and hit the question, because we are getting smashed for questions in the chat. So we're going to throw to this video when things don't always go right, and then we'll come back to the questions.
G'day guys, my name's Ben, and you're watching The Long Gun Project. I thought some of my shots landed a bit high, but flies. Now, we are now on Instagram under The Long Gun Project. So get on Instagram, see what's coming up, see what I've been up to, and just get on the thing. There's a whatever.
Good. I know you didn't get to see that, but you made it. So it doesn't always go to plan, does it?
Yeah.
It does not always go to plan. Oh, good stuff, mate.
It rarely goes to plan.
All right,
rarely goes to plan. That is one of the joys of having a camera. You can always do another take.
Okay, let's jump into these questions. I go from all the way back, almost the beginning. So 007 Slippery, great name, asks the most. How many cameras do you normally use for a scene, and any filters you recommend when using a drone and a digital SLR for filming?
I will normally try to use. I just try to use my my one camera. What is this one? A Sony A6400, and on it I'll just run a lens with a variable neutral density filter. So you can, without sort of getting too nerdy, you can change how dark your ND filter is by rotating it. So that's pretty versatile. So that's what I use.
Very much the same thing.
I try to use that camera.
Got a couple.
Yep, variable ND filter.
That's super
handy.
important. Yeah.
Yeah, and having the flexibility to just turn it and take all that glare out of your shot is really handy. I try to use my main camera for most of my shots, and what I'll actually do is I will physically move the camera to a different location when I want to get a different angle.
Yep.
One thing I learned was you can't have too many angles when you're filming yourself shooting, because no one wants to see 10 minutes of you lying there on your guts going blam, 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 damn it, blam, from one angle. That is just dead boring. No one wants to see that. I'll be out the road shooting for 2 hours. I will condense that down to 40 seconds of, a great little film clip with, some good tunes over the top, because you don't need to watch me fire every shot. So,
no.
So I'll use the camera. I'll use the one camera and I'll move it around a lot. Occasionally, I'll use like an action camera. If, for example, you're doing something where you're in a buggy, a vehicle, or something like that, or you want to have a target camera. But I tend to use the drone more for target camera stuff these days. So I'll fly the drone downrange, put it off to one side so I don't accidentally shoot it, and I've got a Mavic Zoom is my drone, and I can actually zoom in on the target, and you can actually see the impacts on the target.
Yeah, nice, mate. Nice. I look. I want to.
So that's pretty handy.
So I've got a few cameras as well. I've got the Sony A7 III, which is the main camera one I'm using now. I've got another little Canon digital SLR, which I started with, which is sort of a backup one. I've got what is this? That's a GoPro 7. Probably will sell that, to be honest. Sort of a backup. That's the main action camera I use, which is the Osmo. Main reason I use that is because the
I've got Osmos now too.
Front screen there. So if you are doing it that way, go on the selfie mode.
You
can see yourself and make sure you've got the thing aligned, which is something I can't do on the Sony because there's no flippy screen. But anyway, that's another sell point. This camera's been really good. Sorry, that's an Insta.
I was going to say the Osmo stabilization is really awesome, but that's your 360, isn't it?
It's 360 camera, really good, but pretty time intensive to get the footage off and pointing in the right direction. But it's got a camera on each side. It's really really useful for those challenge shoots or whatever we do. Having said all that, I use that a huge amount. There are heaps and heaps of footage. Lots of footage that I think has come off that people have assumed I've filmed on here. These are really good. Phones are really, really impressive. And the most important fact is that that's probably the one you've got with you at any point. And if you're not going to go down the YouTube path and not going to make these big videos, and you're going to make little snippets and Instagram videos and stuff like that, this will be your workhorse. Absolutely, that's what you'll
Yep.
use, and so you don't need all this other stuff. Often, like this is the luxury stuff. One of these will do virtually everything you need.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's probably important to talk about if you do want to put stuff up on Instagram or YouTube and that sort of stuff, don't feel like you've got to do, a super high-end professional finished product for your first video. If you go back to my very first video, it's clunky, it's really rough and that sort of stuff. I was just using the camera I had at the time. And, if you're, I think you're better off doing the best with what you've got rather than, sort of not taking that step into posting your videos and that sort of stuff. Because, I think, I was always a bit worried that my early videos and even my videos now, I was sort of, when I first decided to make YouTube videos, I was concerned that, oh God, if it's not really, really great, I'm just going to get trolled like a mofo. And and as it turns out, the only people who troll you are your mates anyway.
Yeah.
Like you'll still get some people who don't like your videos, and that's fine. But you will be really surprised at the amount of people in the shooting community who want to see what you're doing and are really, really supportive of it. It doesn't matter if it's just phone footage or DSLR that can do video. It doesn't matter. As long as you're getting that stuff out there, I think that's more important than sort of thinking, I've got to do a super high-end production or no one's going to watch it.
I think that's really true, and I think if you want to, if you're thinking about it, just go and do it. Just go and do it, and be super responsive. If someone's giving you a hard time about something, and you will get comments and haters and all that sort of gear, and so be it. Look for the truth in what they're saying. Ignore what they actually say. And if you look for, can I actually learn anything from this comment? Oh, yeah, no, that probably wasn't the best angle to use here. Or I didn't show this, or I didn't explain this very well. Yeah, cool. All right, I'll work on that. I love seeing channels that improve. When you see a channel that's been around and the person's not listening to any advice or looking to get any better, it's tough to watch. But if you watch a channel that gets better and better over time, I mean, when we started the Southern Shooters channel, which is what this channel was originally, I wouldn't even be in the videos. Yep. So we've come a long way from those. I got a mate to be the face of it back then. Yeah, wow, things have changed. All right, next question on. Anthony asks, I've obviously got my personal page, but do you, any of you guys run a separate athlete page, so to speak, or like an alias type page? Probably wouldn't put firearm stuff on my personal page. What are your thoughts? Ben, you don't really have much of a personal presence on socials. No,
I don't. And for the main reason that I really don't get much out of Facebook and social media type stuff on a personal level, but whether I like it or not, it is the best platform for my athlete profile, for want of a better term.
Yeah.
Because I'm passionate about the sport. I'm passionate about shooting. I want to share that sort of stuff. Help anyone who is looking for it in any way I can. So that's sort of the public persona. If you want to know who I am personally, well, turn up to a shoot, and introduce yourself.
Yep.
That's the easiest way to get to know me personally. I was sort of, I've resisted Facebook, and as much as I hate to admit it, I probably will end up having a Long Gun Project Facebook page.
Come on,
because it's another get down with the sickness. I got to.
Poor choice of words at the moment.
Embrace.
Poor choice of words.
Or was it? That's a public persona, but you do, even on the YouTube stuff and
Yeah.
and on Instagram, that sort of stuff, you know, in a video, you get to see who I am. I don't think I'm, you know, remarkably different on YouTube than I am in real life, except I swear a lot more in real life, as you saw from the bloopers reel.
True, I can back that up. So, definitely true.
Yeah.
In fact, we've got that bloopers video we could play again, uncensored. Anyway, look, Anthony, I think, I have a personal page, but mate, I don't remember the last. Like, I post maybe once or twice a year. I don't really dig social media from a personal level. I'm only really interested in doing it at this level. It's really funny. I did a post on my, I don't remember what it was about, but a post on my personal page about something. And like, I checked it a little bit later and I'm like, where are the stats? Like, I can't see the reach. And I realized, I'm like, oh yeah, you don't get that on personal page. It's just so normal to look at those numbers and see that anyway. But I certainly have spoken to a lot of guys who are in the position you're in, and they have chosen to go down the personal route and the public route, and it's no problems. I see some people do it, I think, poorly, or no, poorly's harsh, but they do it in a way where their personal one isn't actually super personal. It's an extension of their public one, whereas some guys do it well. They're personal. They only really add people into that who are actually like really good friends of theirs, and they keep it very much for family. And then their public one is very much the public and within the shooting circle. Or it doesn't have to be shooting. This works across various industries, but I've certainly seen guys do that really well and guys do it poorly. If you're going to do it well, and keep everything and all your connections through there, and then that way just keep it updated. I think whichever way you go, keep it pumping, keep it constant. That would be good. All right. We will keep going because there are questions building. Ben, in one of your recent videos, you reviewed a couple of Australian-made AR rifles in beautiful green rolling hills. What drone camera did you use to film that? I guess we covered that. Which just give us it again. What drone and camera are you using?
So the drone's a Mavic Zoom, and the camera is the Sony A6400. But I had Darren as my cameraman on that one. He was using a gimbal for all those handheld shots, which was a bit of a steep learning curve, but he did a really great job. So
nice.
Yeah, so he'll make the run on again.
Very good, mate. Might just get you to restart your camera, by the way, because you're lagging behind. So if you can do that, that'll be good. Actually, now I've got a question for you, but we'll come back to that. Sheldrake says, I've got Sheldrake _Oz to try and show me trying to become a PRS shooter. It gets a little disheartening at times when you see stupid posts that reposts of others' photos get huge likes and you get zero. Have you experienced that where you put all this work in and you get no result, and then you see someone else just share something ridiculous and they get absolutely all the comments, all the love, all the joy? How do you recover from that, Ben?
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
Look, I think the key thing to remember here is why you're doing it. And look, if we're just doing it for the external validation of likes and that sort of stuff, then we're probably focusing on the wrong thing. I think look, if someone else posts something and it does get a shitload of likes, use that as an opportunity to look at why did it get a lot of likes. I'm guilty of making some of my videos too long. I'm guilty of a range of different things that have just, made some videos for whatever reason really, really popular and others just aren't. And some of my better videos aren't my highest rating ones. So I don't know why. But can be anything from you haven't used enough or a broad enough range of tags to make it easy to find. that's a bit of a problem for me. If you're looking for my video specifically, I'm hard to find on YouTube for whatever reason. So I've got to try and figure that one out. But I think the key is, if you're happy with what your video is, put it out and be proud of it, and keep putting them out, because eventually, through practice, your videos are definitely going to improve. And once people and look, people will find you, and keep using the broadest range of searchable tags you can. People will find you, and they will be interested in what you're doing. You will find your niche. There's no doubt. You've just got to stay. Just got to sort of stick at it, I think, is the key there. Don't be discouraged. And look, sometimes you can put together a video that takes bugger all, no effort. It's 10 seconds long, and it's basically a moving meme, and it can go viral, can't it, Rusty?
Yes. Sometimes the
Thug Life video with Borny.
Sometimes the most ridiculous video you pump out in about 15 seconds ends up being your most popular video you've ever made, despite pouring your heart and soul into other videos. However, eventually, potentially, you get validated by putting up a Box to 1,000 video, which goes to 1.3 million people or something stupid, and you finally have a video that you actually spent some time on and people watched it. But anyway, Ben, I'm going to back you up completely, because
that's a lot of reward for a lot of effort, which is nice.
There was the Sheldrake, on your point, mate. I think that you. As Ben said, come back to why you're doing it, what you really set out to achieve, and if nothing else, make it a little selfish, right? And hear me out on this. I really enjoyed Butters potentially in the chat, but he and I filmed a whole stack of stuff from our trip from the US, and we put it out as videos and stuff, and it got varying, some really popular, some useless, and all that sort of thing. But for me, even now, but in 10, 15, 20 years, I'm going to be watching those videos. And I do videos with my kids as well, and they don't make the public channel, but I go back and I'm able to watch these in years to come, and I will look back and these are memories that are beyond photos. These are memories of video memories that are spent some time enjoying crafting, and so I'm actually building up like a history for myself to reflect on. Same with your, occasionally you'll get a little bit emotional and look back through the Impact Dynamics stream on Facebook, for example, which has been there for, I don't know, 6-7 years, and you go back and you're like, man, I remember that, and and then you remember the stories. And so, honestly, if you're documenting your progression to work your way towards being PRS shooter, and whatever success you go on with that, do it for you. Do it to document yours, because chances are other people are going to enjoy it. They'll inspire you, and you'll be putting good word out there and stuff like that. But document for yourself as well, because others will that's genuine, that's real, and guys will really enjoy that and respect that. And I think that this show, I mean, I talk about it, providing lots of content and that sort of thing, but at the time of kicking this show off, Ben and I and Trent, and we were trying to make a decision, and I was pretty much on the news side of things. I was watching news hours a day, checking websites. We were trying to make the right decision about what to do with the PRS match in Mildura and then the season overall. And I was just, it was doing my head in daily. And I remember doing the first show of this and just walking off of it going, I didn't think about anything but just enjoying shooting for an hour. That was brilliant. So I went, well, I don't care if anyone's watching.
That first show was a good one.
Yeah, I don't care if anyone's watching. I'm going to do the same thing, and that's why I'm really keen to do this each night, because it's a break for me. It's good headspace, and hey, if you guys are enjoying it, and that's what we're hearing, we'll keep doing it. But I'd probably keep doing it anyway, because I enjoy chatting with the guys I'm chatting with, and I'm enjoying it. I think if you're enjoying what you're doing, you will find an audience, and people will relate to that.
Yep, absolutely. I couldn't agree more, mate. I think, you're right. Sheldrake, Dave, do it for yourself, mate, because people, you will enjoy looking back on it, and other people will too. So
yeah,
I think you're right, mate. Doing it for yourself is the main driver.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
good.
There was a question there about the AR footage, the drone stuff you did in Green Hills. Whereabouts was that filmed?
That was down in Victoria.
Okay. Yep.
The only place it was still green at that point of the year.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. There's a question about the Instagram, YouTube channel names. I think that's been answered in the chat, but obviously for me, Impact Dynamics for everything, for TikTok, for Snapchat, for Facebook, for Instagram, for YouTube, which you're on, and TikTok, which is the one I'm apparently trying to blow up on, is Rusty ID.
You'll get there, man.
No, because I don't dance. Although I did put up a dancing video today on TikTok.
Oh, is that what it's for?
That's what it's for, apparently. So you'd be all over it, Ben.
Why would anyone do that?
But I did put up a video with dancing involved today, so go check that out. Oh, what a teaser. Give us your name. You're a Long Gun Project on everything, aren't you, Ben?
I am, yes, the Long Gun Project on everything.
Yeah, sweet. Excellent. Any recommendations for apps on video editing on the phone? Ben, do you do any editing on your phone?
I don't.
You don't? Okay.
I mean, I have a small phone. My fingers are fat. I've got no chance. So I think the only thing that is available immediately is probably iMovie.
Yep.
But there's probably a bunch of better Adobe or DaVinci style editing sort of suites and that sort of stuff, which you can give you a lot more flexibility than iMovie, but iMovie will probably get you over the line.
Sure.
As long as you're not asking too much of it.
I use iMovie. I have also used Premiere Rush. There's a really useful app that I found called Rotate and Flip. I think it was about $1 or $2 or something along those lines, and that allows you to take vertical footage, flip it sideways, because at least last time I used it, which could be a while, iMovie will only edit horizontal footage. So, and of course, everything likes that. So, Rotate and Flip, which was relatively cheap, allows you to grab that footage vertical, flip it, edit it, and then flip it back and then put it out there. So that has been useful. And what's the other one? Viva something or other. A mate of mine uses that fairly often. I haven't got into it, didn't like the interface. But yeah, that's there you go, Steve. I use iMovie. I don't know about Android. I wouldn't have a clue, to be honest.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you use any editing stuff on your phone for Instagram stuff?
For Insta, I used to use VSCO, I think it's called. And I've used a couple of different things, but really, I'm not that great at photography. I'm not really into photography a lot, so I use the built-in app now on iPhone's pretty good. I have used the Photoshop version for iPhone, the prior version, the one that's either out or coming, and that's been fine. What about you for photos?
Yep. Yeah, I actually use a thing called Snapseed.
Snapseed.
So Snap SWED.
I've seen that.
And that's
I've downloaded that before. Clearly, I didn't like it last time. I'll download it again and give another go.
Yeah, I find it really, really good to take because you take a photo and it's, as long as it's well framed and that sort of stuff, you can really cast the crap out of it so that it really pops on Instagram. So I'm not a great photographer. I just, edit like a mofo.
Nice. I'm getting that now. If you're talking podcasts or audio, for example, Jarratt is a program on phones or iPads, and that is really good. The paid version is actually really good. I remember editing a version of the Coin Toss podcast that was filmed in a very noisy pub in a little booth, and we managed to put Jarratt and put some effects on it, and it went sweet. So yeah, all good. All right. What else do we have? Yeah, Butters is saying the same thing. Videos are like photo books and memories. Yeah, it's awesome. Good. TikTok. Yeah, Ian's wondering what TikTok is. Ian, get on it. Start dancing. I want to see you dance, Ian. What do you do with the footage? What do you do with the footage on your phone? I assume that's to us. Yeah. I airdrop it across to the computer and start editing it, or you can edit on your phone. Yeah, whatever. Very good. What else? Creative Cloud, Lightroom Photos on the desktop. That's good. Excellent, cool. I think that's covered most of that. So we're almost pretty much out of time, but we control it anyway, so we'll just keep on going. But I wanted to say that I think that right now is like the perfect time to be launching socials. If you were thinking about running a channel or something on those lines, now, because people have time to watch, to get involved. And if over the next, I don't know how long this thing's going to go on for, at least probably another month, if not several, people are going to watch it. And if they like you and like what you do and you learn your craft over a bit of time, by the time we all get back to normal, you'll be front and center of it or whatever it might be. So I think now is a really good option. Plus, for many of us, for some of us, we have time at the moment to go and do this stuff. And that's not, I would like to be doing more than I am at the moment, but I've got other focuses at the moment. Very fortunate enough to still have other focuses. But for many people, now is a really good time. And chances are, while you can't, the downside of the moment is you can't realistically go out and film you shooting. But there's a good chance, if you're this way inclined at all, you've got footage of you on your phone. You've got that sort of thing. If you've got footage, I wanted to give some sort of practical tip that if you were thinking about getting down this path, you've probably got footage of you running a stage if you've been to a PRS or club match. Grab that, stick yourself in the corner, like film yourself again, put it in the corner, and review yourself shooting and rip yourself apart. That's a video that people would watch. I'd watch it because it's you self-critiquing your run, talking about how good you were, how bad you were, where you could improve, what you've done. That's one sort of option that you could do. People would get value out of that, and honestly, now is a really good time to do that sort of thing. Ben, any thoughts on the topic or any suggestions?
Yeah, no, I agree with you that at this time, where even if people are still going to work, they come home, Married at First Sight is finished. So there's literally apparently nothing on television to watch anymore.
Did Jay get up to you? Did he? Did he let us know?
Yeah, Jay told me. I had no idea.
He's our official Married at First Sight representative, so he tells us all the latest goss. Who won?
I feel for him, man. He must get forced to watch it.
Yeah, that's what he says. Yeah.
He said, Jack probably makes him watch it. No, I think. You're right. Now is the time where if people have 5 minutes or 5 hours, if you're shooting inclined, the first thing that you're going to do when you pick up your phone or your iPad and that sort of stuff is you're going to look up shooting related stuff, and if you've seen the same stuff, you'll go looking for different stuff. So there is people are hungry for new content. They really are hungry for it. So feed the beast. Why not?
Jay has just given us an update saying it's finished, by the way. Jay's checked in.
Great confirmation.
So I know that a number of gun shops are shut down, which is, or at least restricted on their trade, and that sucks. If I was in that position at the moment, and I'm very fortunate not, and I've got a new website to keep me busy, and I'm writing a new one for Scoped Out as well. But if I was in a position where business was very quiet or dead, I would grab a phone. I would grab a product. I don't think I've got any products close by. Let's just say, oh no, here we go. I would grab
You are
product.
projectile warehouse and scoped out, and you don't have any
Well,
products.
this is the studio. This is not the warehouse. What are you talking about?
I know, man. I know.
I would grab that and an item, and I literally make several videos a day about this and that, and just start and talk about how your business started, or talk about something on those lines. I mean, this is advice that certainly I didn't dream up, but is out there and is working for people. So, guys, if anyone here is watching and is involved with a gun shop or something like that, just start doing that, because at some point people are going to start buying them. Those restrictions are going to come off, and if people are aware of you and are front and center with you, something like that is going to put it in there. Start putting yourself out there if you are if you're in that position. It sucks to be in that position. I'm upset that we are in that position at the moment. But every crisis is opportunity. That's the old saying, isn't it? And so being able to utilise that time and a shop empty of people, go around and make some stuff, do some stuff, get in front of people, because that will pay off longer term. It doesn't pay the bills this week, I know that, but it will help longer term. So that's that would be good. Ben, there's a comment that says someone needs to have a chat to Lithgow about starting an Instagram page. Do you want to get in there and start giving them a heads up?
I actually think Lithgow do have an Instagram page.
Okay.
I certainly hope they do, because otherwise, who am I tagging? Who am I tagging in some of my posts if it's not them?
Oh, that's another one of my pages. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they aren't.
Lithgow Arms Australia don't even have a display photo, so it may not be Lithgow that you're tagging in.
I will talk to Paul Robinson at Lithgow Arms tomorrow, and I will ask him.
I think that would
especially as my my video, which is coming out in the next sort of 24 hours, is actually a feature on Lithgow Arms.
Great point, Anthony. Well done, man. I appreciate you bringing that up. We're breaking news here on this show. Anyway, we'll see if we can get some.
Best segue ever.
Oh, brilliant. Ben, social media, YouTube stuff, anything along those lines. Is there anything else you want to throw out there, guys? We're pretty much wrapped up, but if you got one quick question, I'm sure we'll take it. Ben, is there any thoughts on your journey so far with it, and any advice to people that you would suggest if they're going to delve down this path?
Yeah, look, I would say that initially, when I was first considering it, I was very, very hesitant. I was, I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to make videos and shooting videos and that sort of stuff and get them out there. But I was concerned about, what the uptake was going to be, what the reaction was going to be. And I shouldn't have been worried. I should have got into it sooner. And through putting out my videos and that sort of stuff, it has brought me into contact with a huge range of people across shooting, but not just shooters, but shooting industry as well.
Yeah.
Brings you in contact with sponsors. It brings you in contact with manufacturers. It does if you're persistent with it, it'll do things that you never thought you'd probably be exposed to, which is really great. So
100%.
My advice to anyone who is thinking about it is don't back yourself. Don't be hesitant. Just start putting stuff out there. Your first video is always going to be your worst one. I promise you, your first one's always going to be your worst video. But every video after that will be better. That's my advice, is if you are thinking about it, don't think about it for too long.
Yep.
Just start putting some stuff out there.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. I would suggest that there's just been a comment in there. Lithgow Arms Museum has an Instagram page. That's cool.
Oh, there you
They are not connected at all to Lithgow Arms. By the way, they're completely different. Yeah, don't bring it up. Completely different entities. I was trying to find the camera that I started off YouTube with, and this is not it. This is the second camera I got for it, which is one of these little Sony things. We started with my daughter actually has now stolen it and taken it. She's 7 and makes YouTube videos that go on private unlisted YouTube that goes to family. But she learned to edit the other week. But anyway, that's another story. You don't need. I mean, I've got a fancy mic here. I've got a camera. I've got all sorts of gear. We've got and the downside of that is I want others to be doing this, and you don't need all this stuff. We're very blessed that we've got all this gear. We've got supporters and stuff like that, and we're just throwing money into it over time. But honestly, if you've got a phone, start taking photos, throw them up on Instagram. Start doing stupid dances on. Well, maybe anyway. Start your Facebook page and start putting your thoughts out there. Do it. Get out there. Let's continue to create more content and get more shooters involved and make it look good and all that sort of stuff. So, highly encourage you if this is of interest to you, or you've got any thoughts, hit Ben up, hit me up. We like to see new guys getting down this path because there honestly isn't enough. There needs to be more guys making YouTube stuff about what's going on shooting in Australia and keep it positive and keep it about promoting the sport and developing more shooters. I think that's really important. And we've got guys who will take various different angles on that, which is excellent, and all sorts of diversity is needed there. But we need more. So keep on going, and you don't need good stuff. You just need some sort of camera and get started. That's it. Tag us in. Away we go from there. That'll be good stuff. I think we're done. We're way over time. It's the longest episode we've done, and we didn't even get to any memes, Ben. No memes, but we will be back. I know, disappointing. We'll be back tomorrow night. What is it? Wednesday. So tomorrow night, Simo from... Oh, sorry, Ben, you've got one more thing to say. Go for it.
Yeah, guys, because we have gone over time, because you've put so many great questions to us and that sort of stuff, I'm assuming that you've enjoyed this video stream. If you have, like the video, please. Hit the like button, guys. Everyone's so focused on what we're doing and saying that sort of stuff. Is
it down?
Is it that?
It'd be there somewhere. It'd be over that way, somewhere down there. Depends. I don't know.
That way. Yeah.
Yeah. That and all that sort of stuff. Thanks, Ben. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Well, you're just trying to beat Emma, aren't you? No one's beaten Emma. She's smashing the likes at the moment.
Look, I don't think any of us are going to beat Emma, mate. That's right.
She wanted that the most. Cool. We'll be back tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, Simo from Honey HQ. That will be fantastic. He's a hoot. If you haven't heard from him at all, pretty wild dude, good fun, and look forward to showing his good. He might have a dirty mo. Sometimes he has a dirty mo. All of that sort of thing. Oh yeah, we were meant to do the positions you don't want to see at a match. I completely forgot. Okay. Do you know what? We're Ben, tomorrow. Are you busy tomorrow? Can we film a separate video that we go through that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, let's do that. All right. That completely slipped my mind. We were planning to do that tonight. Butters, we will do a separate video. We will look at that. We will give and all that sort of stuff. And we'll you film it, I'll film it. We'll put the videos together. We'll make a decent video out of it, and we'll get that out there and give something away. And then we can move on to our tripod competition. All right.
This could be two idiots react to other idiots videos.
I like it. Two idiots react. Perfect. Sounds good. All right. I think rather than the normal going out music and the normal fade out and all that sort of gear, we're going to go out with Ben's bloopers reel. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe, like, do all that. Oh, we got a few more likes. Well done, Ben. You nailed it. And this will be up again, podcast stream that is on Spotify already, and it will be on the others shortly. But Impact Dynamics Live is what you can look for. There's links around. We'll get it on there. Eventually, I will get onto the ID website and get this show up on there shortly. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Keep going, keep putting photos up, all that sort of stuff. And we look forward to a boom in social media on the gun side of stuff. Keep tagging us in, and we will see you on the other side of it. Cheers, Ben. Always a pleasure.
Yep. Cheers, man. Appreciate it.
G'day guys, my name's Ben, and you're watching The Long Gun Project. I thought some of my shots landed a bit high, but flies. Now, we are now on Instagram under The Long Gun Project. So get on Instagram, see what's coming up, see what I've been up to, and yeah, just get on the thing. There's a whatever.